Hi, welcome to Olivia's Sanctuary. We are here to have a little chat about the present moment, about living in the now, because that is the best place to be in. Alright, so I got into a really fun discussion over the weekend about living for the now, because it really is the most important thing in terms of overall positivity towards life. Living in the present moment is never something that I fully understood beforehand. I really just didn't understand that living in the present moment was any different to how I was living. I thought, how can I live any more in the present moment, because that's all I'm in anyway. But actually, what people tend to not see is that what is going on in your mind is actually taking you away from the present moment. And I say this in the sense that, you know, you've got so many thoughts going on, and if you're always looking to the past and always looking to the future, you are not living in the present moment. If you're going about your daily life and you're doing things in the moment, like, I don't know, let's say washing the dishes and doing your bed and going to the shop to get some groceries. But within all of those moments, you're still thinking about things that have happened in the past, and you're still worrying about the future. You are not living in the present, current, now, in the moment. And it's really funny because I genuinely believe that that's how I used to live, but it's really not. Like, I used to live so deeply in the other spaces that I didn't ever see the present moment. Whereas now, sometimes I can be so deeply in the present moment that I'm like, whoa, I haven't even thought about the past, and I'm not even considering the future. And it really is a beautiful place to be in, because when you're enjoying the present moment, and you're not worrying about things that have, you're not thinking about things that have happened and how you could have changed them and how they could have gone differently. When, I mean, let's be honest, those things don't matter. They've contributed to your present day self. Everything from the past has made a contribution and has led you to where you're at. So you can be grateful of it, and you can glance back at it in a just, you know, considerate way. Just sort of look at it and go, yeah, you know what, it all happened and it was great, or it wasn't so great at the time, but those things have built me up to where I am now. And even if now isn't exactly where you want to be, it's further than it was back then. And if you think that you're not further, then know that the current moment is taking you further. And that's where it's important to stay calm and grounded. And again, meditation really does help with this. I've just meditated today for like 35 minutes. And I came out of it feeling quite sleepy, but also so grounded and so much more aware of my current day and my current state of being, which is just, it feels so clear and fresh, even though I'm still kind of sleepy. I'm just sleepy in general. But yeah, so then again, when you're looking to the future, you develop anxiety, you develop a worrisome state of being, because you're not able to see that where you're at is actually the perfect place to be. Where you're at is the place that is gonna help you get to the place you want to be in the future. And I mean, I think the way to stop worrying so much about the future is by seeing that the future is not done, but it is being created as you go along. So if you are living in a very harmonious state with a vision of the future that you want, and in knowing that you can reach that future, but you can still enjoy the present moment and lead up to that point with with happiness and positivity and on this lovely journey. Like you don't have to force anything, you don't have to worry about anything. You can just go with the flow of your life and then move to that point. Actually, funnily, don't know, this is obviously just a visualization that has come up into my mind of excuse me, how I see the space of the future and the past and the present moment. And it's literally, let me draw it because it's so simple, but I think it really helps. Okay, so it literally like this. This is how I see it in my mind. It's so basic. I could explain it, but it's nice to just see. I see my life as this kind of one long line, even though actually it's more like a tree. But in my head, this is just how it presents itself. And present moment, in the middle, here now. And then the past is obviously behind, and the future is obviously in front. And I just kind of, what happens is it goes on like a timeline like this, where I'm kind of I'm seeing all these little events all in the past, and the ones that are further away, they fade, and the ones that are closer, they're more prominent, because obviously that's what's sort of at the forefront of my mind. The current moment is like this big ball, like I just sort of see it as this circular, spherical, almost glowing light that I'm in right now. And I think that's reminding me that the present moment is the best moment to be in. And then you've got the future, that is, it's kind of more like this, the future, because it's, even though I feel like I know what the future is, I don't know what the future is, even though I feel like I'm very aware of how I would like my future to be, I don't expect it to be exactly as I have thought, because I want there to be some surprises, and I want things to be slightly different, and they will present themselves in different ways, because even if you know what you want, you don't know how you're going to get there. So this is why I kind of see this squiggly line in the future. And honestly, this present moment thing, it's so powerful to be in it, because if you're thinking about the past, you're missing out on the present. And if you're thinking about the future, you're missing out on the present. Also, if you're thinking about the future so much, you're missing out on the space in between. I had this conversation the other night. So what I compared it to is, so, you know, a lot of the time people have this very structured life of, you work 9 to 5, you get maybe 28 days holiday a year, and you might book one holiday abroad a year, and that's typically what people might have. And people like focus on this one holiday that they get a year. They book it and they can't wait for it. And they're almost missing out on the time in between, because they're just focusing on this one point, like, oh, I finally get a break, I finally get to go on this one holiday and just relax and enjoy myself. But that, to me, that defeats the point of life in general. I mean, if you're always thinking about a moment that you need to reach, then you're skipping the time in between, and you're not actually able to live in the present moment. You might be enjoying certain present moments, but then you might be always checking on the calendar and always looking at your phone to see how many days are left, and you're wishing the time to go by, and you can't like enjoy being at work because, well, oh, I don't want to be at work because I want to be on holiday. And honestly, that in itself is taking you away from just enjoying all of what life has to offer. The perfect example is, I'm going to Budapest next month, and I know what date I'm going on, but I booked it with excitement, with enthusiasm, never been before, really looking forward to it, but I just forgot about it as soon as I did it. For like a day or two, I was like, cool, I'm going to Budapest. But not for 1 second have I been wishing any time away to get to Budapest, because I'm loving my life so much, and I know that I can fill it with so much on the way to going to Budapest, that Budapest isn't gonna like change my life. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll present new ideas that might change things within my life, but I can enjoy every single moment leading up to that, so I'm not going to focus on that and skip the time in between. This is the conversation that I had with a guy that I met at the hostel in the YHA hostel in Robin Hood's Bay. We sat talking for hours. We went walking on the beach with a full moon, and it was beautiful. It was gorgeous, and we were talking about all these kind of things. And it's funny because I think social media ties into this. I think the presence of social media forces people to not only believe that they're not living their lives as well as others are, because you're seeing a false image of people's lives, and then it's giving you a false perception of how you should be living your life, which is again taking you away from the present moment. But when you're always like absorbing from a place that doesn't present reality, and although I think reality is a funny word for me, because I think life is as much spiritual as it is physical. So reality tends to conform to the physical world in my mind. But I mean the social media reference in the way that if you are always imagining that people have a better life and that you need to present a better life, then it's taking you completely out of touch with who you are and and the spaces that you reside in. So, again, I can't recommend leaving social media more, even just taking a break from it to kind of see what life has without it. The habit of picking up your phone and mindlessly scrolling at what people are doing and what's going on in the world, like the news and everything. The news likes to instill fear as well, so that's a good thing to stay away from. And just remember that. Okay, let's just summarize it. The past is beautiful because it literally is what's brought you to the current moment. There is no life without the past. You've got to appreciate, you've got to love it, you've got to say, thank you for my past. It brought me to where I am. The past and the future are intrinsically, connected to the present moment. Of course they are, because every second that I'm speaking is going into the past. Every word that I'm about to say is the future. So they're colliding constantly. They're in a harmonious relationship. But the point I'm really trying to make is that it is best to just let go of every past moment and be appreciative of that and of the future that's to come, because both add to the present moment and to who you are. But they don't need to be focused on, because as soon as you focus on them, you lose the present moment. So be at one with what this present moment is, love it, cherish it, and discover what you can achieve within the space of recognizing what is in front of you right in this current moment. It's a beautiful space to be in. It provides so much joy, and I want everybody to experience it. So thank you for coming to Olivia's Sanctuary. I love you all. I appreciate everybody watching these, and I just want to give a bit of goodness to the world. That's all. So take care and enjoy life. Bye.